Have you ever wondered how an athlete can go from the absolute top of their game to the very bottom seemingly overnight? Kinda makes you wonder what the heck happened, doesn't it? From championship belts to heartbreaking losses, this is the story of Cody Garbrandt. Our story starts off in Uhrichsville, Ohio, a small town that has seen better days. Here, amidst struggles with drugs, alcohol, and violence, Cody Garbrandt grew up. He didn't have a father figure in his life. His dad was locked away in prison. This tough upbringing meant that Cody and his brother constantly clashed. They fought a lot, fueled by anger and a sense of being lost. Cody's mom knew this fighting needed a better outlet, so she enrolled him in the local wrestling program. It was a chance to channel that pent-up energy into something positive. And guess what? Cody found his calling. He took to wrestling like a natural, becoming a state champion in his freshman year. And this was the first glimpse of the phenomenal athlete that Cody would become. Wrestling became a lifeline for Cody. It kept him away from the negativity that surrounded him. He poured his heart and soul into the sport, training relentlessly. With each win, his confidence grew. Soon, wrestling wasn't just an escape. It was a passion. A path to something bigger. This small town kid with a tough past was on his way to becoming a champion. Cody's wrestling dream may have propelled him forward, but it wasn't meant to last. Injuries and the ever-increasing competition took their toll. The inability to recapture the title fueled frustration. Cody found himself susceptible to the darkness that lurked in his hometown. He drifted towards drugs and alcohol, a dangerous combination that threatened to consume him. "I was lost," Cody admits, reflecting on this period. He describes losing the passion that once fueled him, feeling unaccomplished and directionless. This darkness led him down a path that many fear: addiction. He describes a time when at his lowest point he attempted to take his own life. Thankfully, his brother intervened, pulling him back from the brink. This near-death experience forced Cody to confront his reality. Wrestling was no longer an option, so he needed to find a new passion, a new purpose.
So how did Maddox change your life?
He changed my life in probably the biggest impact of my life. I left college twice, trying to figure out being a young adult, that transition period of leaving college, going and being an adult, getting a job, and how I was living life wasn't the right way. And a string of events happened in my life. I ended up getting stabbed in a bar fight, and then I met Maddox shortly after that.
Just as Cody was about to give up on his dream and settle for a mundane job, fate intervened. He met Maddox Maple, a young boy from his hometown battling leukemia. Cody and Maddox formed a powerful bond. Witnessing Maddox's daily fight for survival reignited a spark within Cody. He saw Maddox's unwavering spirit and knew he couldn't just give up on his own dreams. This wasn't just about fighting for himself anymore. It was about honoring Maddox's courage and his own promise. 1 year into their friendship, Maddox reached his breaking point. The grueling treatment had become unbearable, and he refused to take his medication anymore. Cody, devastated, knew he had to do something. He made a pact with Maddox, a promise that would change both of their lives.
The promise we made to each other was that he would beat cancer, and I would make it to the UFC, and I would take him to every fight with me.
Oh my gosh.
"You beat cancer," Cody told him. "If you just take your meds, I'll make it to the UFC and take you to every fight. We'll walk out together, champion and champion." This pact became Cody's driving force. It wasn't just about winning fights. It was about fulfilling a promise, about giving hope to a young boy fighting for his life.
He was really a turning point in my life, finding him and I gained a little brother and watching him and the help that he helped me through my entire life with his battle. He doesn't even understand how much he's helped me, how much I push in practice when I get tired and feel like I can't go in another round, That fourth and fifth round was, I remember I had his dad send me a picture of him laying on the hospital bed with his port put in his chest, and it was his early onset battle of leukemia.
Psychologists categorize motivation into 3 levels. The first, basic level, is our biological drive for survival, food, and water. The second level is external motivation, like wanting money or fame. Until now, Cody's motivation had likely come from a mix of these two, but meeting Maddox unlocked a deeper level within him, a force known as intrinsic motivation. This comes from within, a burning desire fueled by purpose and meaning. Cody wasn't just fighting for himself anymore, he was fighting for Maddox, for their shared dream. With his newfound purpose, Cody's training took on a new intensity. He called it the slight edge. He saw his teammates slacking off, lacking urgency, but Cody couldn't afford that. He pushed himself past his limits, fueled by the knowledge that he wasn't just training for himself, he was pushing for Maddox for their promise. This internal drive, this deep purpose, became Cody's secret weapon. He was willing to go further, to endure more pain, because he wasn't just fighting for a title, he was fighting for life itself. Power propelled him towards a title shot against Dominick Cruz, one of the greatest bantamweights ever, and Cody, fueled by his emotions, seemed susceptible, expecting him to lose. However, Cody had a secret weapon. His intrinsic motivation allowed him to enter a state of flow, a psychological term for being completely absorbed in an activity. He describes it as feeling in depth with his body, where everything seemed slow and clear. This wasn't just a fight for a title, it was a fight for Maddox's dream. Cody silenced the doubters and delivered a dominant performance, winning the belt in stunning fashion. He fulfilled his promise to Maddox, placing the championship around the young boy's neck in a moment that solidified his legacy. With the belt around his waist, people started talking about Cody's potential for greatness. Talk of becoming a double champion filled the air, a title fueled by external motivation, fame, and achievement. This marked a shift in Cody's drive. The arrival of TJ Dillashaw, a former teammate who left the gym on bad terms, ignited a firestorm of drama. The animosity fueled a desire for revenge, but it wasn't the same as the deep purpose that once drove him. Cody trained hard, but something was missing. He admits to feeling a loss of passion, a sense of just going through the motions. Despite a strong first round, Cody suffered a brutal knockout loss to TJ. Reflecting on the fight, he realized he fought too emotionally. He vowed to enter the rematch with a clear head, focusing solely on regaining the belt. The second fight with TJ Dillashaw was a turning point for Cody. TJ predicted the fight would be fueled by Cody's anger, and he was right. Cody's team, particularly his coach, seemed to encourage this hot-headedness, a stark contrast to the calmness that defined his previous success. This focus on anger and revenge clouded his judgment and may have cost him the fight.
It's going to be a hyped-up fight, I already know it. He's going to try to get angry and get aggressive, but I'm just going to try to stay composed and have some fun out there.
There was also another factor at play: fatherhood. Cody's son was born shortly before the rematch. The desire to be a present father clashed with the intense demands of training. He admits to prioritizing his son's well-being over his training, leading to a sense of not being fully prepared. Despite these struggles, Cody has still managed to pick up some wins here and there, though nothing close to his former glory. As fans, we often focus solely on a fighter's performance, but it is more important to understand the complexities of their lives. Emotions, values, and dreams change with time. Winning the belt from Cruz marked the culmination of a long and arduous journey, not just for Cody, but for his entire support system. His mother, his team all shared in the victory. It was the achievement of a long-held goal, a singular fixation. But with that achievement came a sense of emptiness. What was next? Cody has never been the same fighter that we've seen on the day that he won the title. Many consider that version of Cody as a mythical fighter, given how perfect his performance was. Still, despite the incredible performance, the downfall was just as brutal. Even with the setbacks, Cody continues to fight. Now he has a son to teach, to inspire. He knows that even in the darkest moments, there's hope. But with the losing skid he's on, one wonders if Cody will ever be as motivated as he was when he was coming up, or has Father Time caught up with no love early.